Chosen one, listen carefully. You did not find this message by accident. You were not scrolling randomly, nor did an algorithm simply push this into your feed. This is not chance, coincidence, or luck. What you are experiencing right now is a divine summons, a sacred appointment written into the fabric of eternity before you were ever born. The heavens have called your name, and this moment has been set apart for you, not as entertainment, not as inspiration, but as a holy confrontation with your destiny. Right now, a miracle has been scheduled on your behalf. Not tomorrow, not next week, not one day. Heaven has set the clock, and your breakthrough is set to arrive within the next 10 minutes. But there is one condition. It will only reach you if you believe and stay until the very end. If you scroll away, if you walk away in doubt or distraction, the miracle will not die, but it may withdraw. It may be delayed, and you were never meant to delay what was already written with your name on it. Let it be clear, you are not allowed to walk away from this message because what's hidden inside may be the most important divine instruction of your entire life. You, the chosen one, have been summoned to this precise moment because the silence of heaven is breaking. Not just for anyone, for you. What you're reading now is not just text on a screen. It is a message etched in the realm of the Spirit, spoken for your soul and no other. This is not a fleeting feeling. This is not an emotional high. This is a divine interruption, and you are standing on holy ground. Something has already been released from the throne room. The miracle is not being prepared. It has already been dispatched, and it is moving in your direction. But it will only land where there is faith. It will only manifest where there is one who recognizes sacred timing and responds with obedience. You've walked through seasons of unanswered prayers, silent nights and long days, wondering if heaven had passed you by. But hear this, clearly God has not forgotten you. In fact, He has preserved you. Every delay, every tear, every unfulfilled promise was not wasted. It was all preparation for this very moment. What you're living right now is not an ordinary moment. It is a threshold, a divine turning point. You are not being inspired. You are being summoned. And what you choose to do in the next few minutes will define what you walk into in the coming months. So listen, breathe, lean in. You're not reading a message. You're standing face to face with a holy invitation, and heaven is watching. Will you honor it, or will you scroll past the door that was opened for you and you alone? If this stirred your spirit, don't stay silent. When heaven speaks, your faith must answer. If you know this word was for you, type 77, I receive it. Not for show, but because even a whisper of belief can open the door for a miracle already moving toward you. You've felt it, haven't you? The resistance, the invisible weight pressing against your progress, the strange patterns of lack, the repeated disappointments, the relationships that almost worked, but shattered for no clear reason. You've cried out to God, wondering why your prayers go unanswered, why doors open for others but remain shut for you, and somewhere deep in your soul you've sensed it wasn't just bad luck. It wasn't random. It was war. As C.S. Lewis profoundly wrote in The Weight of Glory, there are no ordinary people. You have never talked to a mere mortal. You chosen one are no mere mortal. Your eternal significance has drawn the battle lines, making you a target in a spiritual war orchestrated by the kingdom of darkness. What you've been facing is not merely emotional exhaustion or circumstantial hardship. It is spiritual warfare. Your struggle is not against flesh and blood. It is against rulers, against authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. The delays in your life have not been natural. They have been orchestrated. The enemy has studied your calling. He has examined your bloodline. He knows that if you ever truly awaken to who you are, if you ever step fully into your assignment, you will become a threat to the kingdom of darkness. And so he attacked, not with a sword, but with confusion, not with fire, but with silence. He wrapped your mind in doubt. He tried to exhaust your spirit with endless waiting. He manipulated your circumstances to wear you down until you questioned your own worth. But what he failed to understand is this: you are still standing, and that alone is proof that God has preserved you. You are not defeated. You are not forgotten. You are not broken beyond repair. In fact, you are more dangerous now than ever because your endurance has matured your anointing. The enemy has been fighting to keep you from this exact moment. This message is a breach in his plan. Heaven has stepped in to interrupt the cycle. A holy disruption is taking place even now. And while the enemy still whispers, hoping to distract you, to make you click away, God is declaring, enough. The struggle you faced was never just about money, relationships, or opportunity. It was about identity. The moment you wake up to your authority, the moment you realize you are chosen, everything shifts. So don't misinterpret the resistance. The warfare you've experienced is confirmation that something sacred has been assigned to your name. And now, as you sit in this moment, heaven is offering you not just comfort, but clarity. This is not punishment. This is preparation. You are not under attack because you are weak. You are under attack because you are anointed. And now that the enemy's plan has been exposed, it is time for the war to end and the breakthrough to begin. Even now, in the unseen realm, an angel stands with a scroll in his hand. This is not metaphor. This is not symbolic. This is real in the dimension where heaven writes its decrees. Your name has been inscribed. On that scroll is not just a list of blessings, but a divine record of what has been promised to you. Healing, restoration, recompense, abundance, peace, and purpose. It is not blank. It is not pending. It is active. It has been sealed with holy authority, and now it is ready to be delivered. But here is the mystery you must understand. Heaven does not force its promises upon the unwilling. The scroll will not open where faith is absent. The angel cannot complete his assignment until the recipient comes into agreement. That is why this message has reached you, because the time has come to call your faith into position. Not a soft, wavering hope, but a bold, immovable declaration that says, I believe this word is mine. As C.S. Lewis wrote in the Screwtape Letters, courage is not simply one of the virtues, but the form of every virtue at the testing point. This moment demands your courage, chosen one, to boldly declare your faith, aligning with heaven's decree and opening the scroll of your divine destiny. God is not sending this word to stir your emotions. He is sending it to test your alignment. Will you receive what is written, or will you delay your destiny with silence and hesitation? The scroll in the angel's hand contains more than provision it carries: instruction, timing, strategy. It holds the next chapter of your story, the one you've been waiting for but were never sure how to begin. And the moment you align in faith, the moment your spirit says yes to heaven's agenda, the seal begins to break. This is why the enemy fought so hard to keep you distracted. He knew that once you saw the scroll, once you heard the truth of what had been written over your life, you would never again bow to fear. He knew that once you realized you were chosen, you would stop begging for crumbs and begin walking in covenant. And that terrifies him, because a chosen one in alignment is unstoppable. So let it be known the scroll is real. The promise is real. The angel is waiting. And now, so is heaven watching, to see if you will recognize that this moment is not casual, not optional, not another nice message. This is your scroll. This is your hour. This is the turning point you've prayed for, in silence. And, if you will believe it, declare it, and stay, until the final word is spoken, what has been written shall be fulfilled. Heaven does not test you with cruelty. It tests you with timing, not to punish but to position. And right now, your faith is under divine examination, not because God is unsure of you, but because he is preparing to entrust you with something weightier, greater, and more sacred than anything you've carried before. But first, he must know, will you believe before you see? Will you act before it feels safe? Will you move while the scroll is still sealed? This is not a test you can study for. This is not a test you can pass with words alone. This is the test of the heart. And the answer is not spoken, it is shown. Your willingness to stay when everything in you wants to scroll away. Your courage to write the declaration when doubt whispers, "What if nothing happens?" Your decision to believe that this isn't just another message, it's your moment. These are the movements of real faith, and they are being watched right now. God is not looking for perfection. He is not asking you to have all the answers. He is simply asking, will you trust me enough to respond? Because in the kingdom of heaven, miracles are not given to the passive, they are activated by the responsive. Faith is not silent. Faith speaks. Faith moves. Faith types. Faith declares. I receive this divine release, not because everything feels ready, but because the soul knows this moment is sacred. This is why you're being asked to act. Not for show, not for ritual, but because the act becomes the altar. The words you type become the covenant. The moment you move in obedience, even in the smallest way, you authorize heaven to move on your behalf. What was blocked begins to flow. What was delayed begins to accelerate. What was tangled begins to unravel. Not because you forced it, but because you aligned with it. Do not underestimate the power of what you do next. The enemy wants you to wait, to hesitate, to treat this like every other message you've heard before. But this isn't like the others. This is holy. This is precise. This is war. And your obedience is your weapon. So take the test and pass it not with perfection, but with response. Let heaven see your yes written in action. Let faith speak, because your scroll will not open if you remain still. But if you move even now, the heavens will respond. Let's be clear, the battle wasn't imagined. The warfare you've endured, the strange resistance, the emotional drain, the financial drought, it was real. And it was intentional. The enemy saw something written over your life long before you did. He recognized the oil on your head. He saw the promise in your bloodline. And before you even knew who you were, he tried to intercept the blessing meant for you. Every delay, every closed door, every betrayal that left you bleeding, it wasn't just life. It was sabotage, a calculated effort to make you give up before you could rise, to wear you down so you'd settle for less, to blind you with discouragement so you'd forget what heaven already decreed in your favor. The goal was never just to hurt you, it was to disconnect you from your assignment, because if he can't destroy your calling, he'll try to distract you from it. And if he can't stop your future, he'll try to exhaust your faith in the present. But here is what the enemy didn't expect. You're still standing. Bruised, yes. Tired, absolutely. But breathing, listening, still showing up, still reaching, still believing, if only by a thread. And that thread is enough, because what the enemy meant to break you has only qualified you. Your scars are not signs of defeat. They are evidence of survival. You didn't fold. You didn't disappear. You made it to this moment. And that means he failed. Right now, something is happening in the spiritual realm. The schemes of the enemy are being exposed. His manipulations are unraveling. The curses spoken over you, the envy, the word arrows, the hidden sabotage, they are being scattered by the breath of God. What once pressed against you will now serve as your elevation. What once blocked you will now break beneath your feet. Because the enemy has been caught, and when he is caught, the word says he must pay back sevenfold. Sevenfold joy, sevenfold restoration, sevenfold provision. So now you must decide how you respond. Will you sit in silence while heaven prepares justice on your behalf, or will you rise in faith and declare what the enemy hoped you'd never dare to say? The enemy failed. I am rising in victory. Say it, type it, own it, because every time you do something in the atmosphere shifts. You are no longer just under attack. You are now on the offense. Your words become weapons. Your belief becomes a battering ram against the gates of resistance. This is not the time to shrink. This is the moment to strike. Let the enemy see what he feared all along, that you survived, that you believed, and now you're rising. Even now, even as you read these words, an angel is moving, not slowly, not uncertainly. With divine precision, with mission sealed from the throne room of heaven, he is coming toward you. You may not see him, but your spirit already senses his approach. That flutter in your chest, the sudden clarity in your thoughts, the unexpected peace pushing back the heaviness. These are not coincidences. They are confirmations. Heaven has dispatched an answer, not just a general blessing, but your answer. Specific, measured, tailored, the one you wept for in silence, the one you almost stopped praying for, the one your heart has been waiting on while pretending not to hope. That answer has been released, and the angel assigned to deliver it is on the move. He's not carrying wishes. He's carrying a decree. In one hand, healing. In the other, provision. Around his neck, a scroll of clarity. Within his wings, the restoration of what was stolen. This angel knows exactly what you've endured. He has heard your name whispered through your midnight prayers. He has tracked your tears through the battle. He has walked past the altars where you almost gave up. And now, by order of the Most High, he has been sent to deliver what was delayed. But listen closely. Heaven moves where faith gives permission. The angel does not respond to passive curiosity. He is not released by indecision. He is drawn in by alignment. You must welcome him, not as superstition, but as covenant. Not with fear, but with reverence. You don't need to chase him, but you do need to acknowledge that you are ready. Your spirit must say, I am in position. I agree with what heaven is doing. I welcome what was assigned to me. There is a divine protocol unfolding. If your posture is open, if your words declare alignment, then nothing can stop what's coming. Not past mistakes, not current confusion, not external voice. The only thing that can block this angel's delivery now is your unbelief. But if you will simply say it, even in trembling faith, welcome, angel of my blessing, I am ready. You will watch the atmosphere begin to shift around you. And when the angel arrives, things will not unfold slowly. They will move with suddenness. What was dry will be saturated. What was lost will reappear. What was tangled will fall away. Because when heaven speaks, delay dies. And heaven has spoken your name. S.C.S. Lewis wrote in Mere Christianity. It may be hard for an egg to turn into a bird. It would be a jolly sight harder for it to learn to fly while remaining an egg. We are like eggs at present, and you cannot go on indefinitely being just an ordinary, decent egg. We must be hatched or go bad. You chosen one are hatching, breaking free from the shell of lack and delay to soar into the divine abundance and purpose heaven has decreed for you. So, speak back now. Respond in faith. Let the angel know he's no longer looking for you. You are already standing at the gate, wide open, fully ready. This is not myth. This is movement. This is not metaphor. This is your moment. The waiting has been long. The strain has been real. You've stretched every resource, watched accounts drain, and wondered how long you could carry the weight without breaking. But heaven wants you to know the drought is not permanent. The famine is not final. The door you've knocked on in prayer is no longer locked. It is opening, and it will open suddenly. This is not a gentle shift. This is not slow provision. This is divine eruption. A sudden release of wealth, opportunity, and provision that breaks rules, bypasses systems, and defies your expectations. What took others years to gain will begin to flow to you in days, not because you earned it by effort, but because you remained faithful under pressure, because you refused to curse God in the waiting, because you chose to stay when it felt easier to walk away. You need to hear this clearly. Heaven is not just blessing you with money, it is shifting your economy. You are moving out of survival mode and into overflow. You are stepping from scraping by to storing up. This isn't about riches. This is about resourcing the mission on your life. What's coming isn't just for your bills, it's for your building. Your calling requires fuel. Your assignment requires backing. And now heaven is releasing what you need, not just to live, but to launch. But the door responds to faith, not fear. You cannot walk into sudden abundance with a mindset of lack. You must rise in identity. You must declare with confidence, the famine ends here. The flood begins now. Speak it, even if your wallet still looks empty. Declare it, even if the bills are still stacked. Because this door does not open to numbers. It opens to obedience. And if you will align your words with what heaven is doing, the door will swing wide with force. There are hidden provisions being unlocked, unclaimed inheritances, forgotten debts, owed to you unexpected favor with key people, contracts, calls, and confirmations that will feel like they came out of nowhere, but they didn't. They've been in motion all along. Delayed, not denied. Guarded, not forgotten. And now the angel with your provision is standing at the threshold, waiting for you to say what most never dare to say in faith. I receive the flood. I welcome the overflow. The financial door opens now for me. This isn't hype. This is heaven's decree. And your agreement is the key. God does not restore partially. He does not bless halfway. When he moves, he restores fully, completely, without compromise. And right now, you need to hear this deep in your spirit. You will not walk away from this season with fragments. You will walk away with everything. Everything that was lost, stolen, delayed, or quietly buried beneath years of disappointment, it is all coming back. The time of divine repayment has come, and heaven has ruled in your favor. You've mourned silently for things no one else knew. You lost relationships that ended without closure, seasons that seemed wasted, dreams that were aborted before they even had a chance to breathe. You learned how to survive, how to stay quiet, how to keep moving, even when nothing made sense. But God was watching. He was counting every tear, noting every injustice, recording every sacrifice. And he is not just a redeemer in word, he is a restorer in power. He has not forgotten. He is not giving you back the same broken pieces. He is rebuilding everything stronger, fuller, richer, and more radiant than it was before. This isn't about getting back what you once had. It's about receiving what you were always meant to carry. What was stolen will be replaced sevenfold. What was withheld will be returned with interest. What you thought was over is only beginning. You see ashes. He sees the foundation for beauty. You see ruin. He sees a throne. Because you are not just being healed. You are being repositioned. You are not just recovering. You are rising. But this restoration isn't automatic. It is activated by faith. You must come into agreement with what God has already released. This is not the time to be timid or unsure. This is the moment to speak boldly what heaven is ready to fulfill. I will not be restored halfway. I receive the full inheritance. I recover everything that belongs to me. Your voice, your posture, your alignment matter. Because restoration is not a feeling, it is a divine transaction, and your faith is the signature on heaven's decree. You won't have to chase what's yours. It will find you. You won't need to fight in the same way you did before. The fight is shifting in your favor. Those who watched you fall will witness you rise, and they will know it was not luck, it was not chance, it was the hand of God. He is bringing it all back. The time, the confidence, the resources, the joy, the clarity, the calling, the peace, all of it. Because God does not restore in part, he restores in full. This is not just another message. This is not a motivational thought or a feel-good moment to forget by the end of the day. This is a divine summons, and heaven is watching, waiting for your response. There comes a moment in every chosen one's journey when the silence breaks, the scroll is unsealed, and the call becomes personal. This is that moment for you, and how you respond right now will determine the speed and weight of what comes next. You must understand, God has already moved. The angels have already been dispatched. The door has already cracked open. The provision is not in preparation, it's in position. But your movement activates the final release. Heaven will not force you to receive what you refuse to acknowledge. The miracle has your name on it, but it waits for your faith to sign for delivery. And if you walk away from this word in silence, if you treat it as something optional, casual, forgettable, you may delay what was ready to fall into your hands today. This is your final warning, not in fear, but in urgency. Don't let distraction steal what was meant to restore you. Don't let overthinking paralyze your faith. Don't let pride whisper, maybe later. There is no later in divine timing. There is only now. This moment is sacred, and it will not linger forever. Every second you hesitate, the window begins to close, and what should have been sudden breakthrough becomes another cycle of spiritual delay. God is not asking for perfection. He's not waiting on you to be flawless, fearless, or fully confident. He's simply waiting on a response, something that shows you heard him, something that says, "Yes, Lord, I believe this was for me." A step of faith, a whisper of agreement, a word typed in the comments spoken out loud, declared with trembling hands, anything that moves your heart into alignment with what heaven has already loosed. Because when you move, the angels move. When you speak, the scrolls open. When you say yes, heaven says now. This isn't about performance. This is about position. Will you stay standing at the edge of your breakthrough, or will you cross the threshold? Will you remain a witness to what others receive, or will you finally rise as the recipient of what's been yours all along? The choice is yours, and the process. Clock is not waiting. Heaven has spoken. The angels are watching. The scroll is shaking. And now, it's your turn to respond. Now that your spirit has heard, now that something deep within you has stirred, you cannot go back to the way things were. You cannot return to silence, to doubt, to smallness. Heaven did not call you to simply feel inspired. It called you to respond. And your response carries weight. You are standing at the edge of something sacred. This is not about emotion. It's about alignment. What happens next depends on your willingness to say, with full conviction, "This word was for me, not tomorrow, not later, now." So speak, not just with your lips, but with your spirit. Let your soul say yes. Let your agreement rise up like incense to heaven. This isn't a performance, it's permission. Permission for God to move. Permission for the angel to act. Permission for the scroll to unfold. Your declaration is not noise. It is the key that unlocks the final gate. And when you speak, you do more than affirm, you activate. You tell heaven, "I'm not just aware of the promise. I'm ready to carry it." Let your voice be heard, not as ritual, but as release. Say it now out loud or in your heart. "I am the chosen one. I was born for this hour. I will not miss what has my name on it. I receive the scroll of my destiny. I welcome the angel with my answer. I declare the door of provision is open. I break agreements with delay, distraction, and doubt. I am not forgotten. I am called. I am not broken. I am rising. Everything that was stolen will be restored. I believe, I receive, and I respond. Let it be done in Jesus' name. And now, with the authority of heaven present in this moment, open your heart to this prayer. Let every word wash over your soul like living water. Let every line settle in the dry places of your faith and awaken what had gone numb. Let this prayer be your covering, your agreement, your entryway into what God has prepared. Father in heaven, almighty and faithful, I lift up your chosen one before you. I thank you that their name is written in your scroll, that their tears have been counted, that their calling has been protected, even in the silence. I declare that no force of darkness, no lie, no delay shall stop what you have set in motion. I ask that you release your angels to complete their assignments, bring the answers, the healing, the restoration, the provision. Let the heavens open over this one. Let peace fall where there was chaos. Let clarity come where there was confusion. Wrap them in divine courage. reignite what was dying, and pour out your spirit without measure. Let what was spoken today take root and bear fruit. Let their breakthrough not be partial but complete. In Jesus' name, Amen. Now you've heard the word, you've spoken the declaration, you've received the prayer, and all of heaven is watching not to judge but to move. Watch what happens next. The scroll is open, the miracle is on the move, and your faith has just told it where to land.